How's it going, everyone? John L. here. Galactus is going on, and we have a new 5-star. It is the Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. So, as with the previous bunch of 5-stars, we won't be able to get a chance to try him out, but we can take a look at his powers and his colors and all that kind of stuff like that and kind of get a sense of what this character is. So Robbie Reyes is the newest character to bear the Ghost Rider name, and he's a little bit different than the previous ones. Like Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch, they rode motorcycles. I think the first guy, don't quite recall his name, rode a horse way back. Robbie Reyes drives a car, and instead of having like a flaming skull, he has like a metal face that's on fire, kind of like his car. So I haven't read anything about him, so I don't really know about the Robbie Reyes character. Definitely kind of updated for modern times, so that's that. I think he also made an appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched that in quite a while, so that might be one of the reasons why this character's come out. It's kind of gained some popularity through that and the comic book, of course. So anyways, he is a green, red, black, just like the 4-star version of Ghost Rider. Those colors are in that order. 14,392 health, don't quite know where that stacks up. So his first power is 9, it's a green, it's called Hellride. 3 covers, Ghost Rider tears through the battlefield, leaving trails of fire to scorch his enemies, creates 3 green repeater tiles that destroy up to 3 surrounding green, red, or black basic tiles every 2 turns. Destroyed tiles deal 2 times their damage. 2 times their damage, okay. Should have, paused right there. Anyways, at 5 covers, that just ups to 3. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so every turn. So instead of every 2 turns, it's every turn, and the tiles do 3 times damage. So that's actually pretty good. I can see how this could kind of be a plus-minus type power depending on where these green repeater tiles show up, and if there's any green, red, or black tiles surrounding them. So it has the caveat that they have to be basic tiles, so if they're special tiles, they're not going to be taken away, which kind of sucks, but they are in his 3 top colors, which is good, and there also is no mention about not generating AP, so it kind of reminds me a little bit of Silver Surfer's power, where he throws down his countdown tile that just sucks up AP and does damage for all the tiles that are around it. I think it's really nice that this is a repeater tile, and I don't know if they limit, so if you are able to throw down more Hellrides, is it possible to have something like 6 or 9 repeater tiles on the board just sucking up all the red and green? If that's the case, this could be a really cool power. Like, 9's not that expensive, and if you get someone who generates that, that's pretty good. The other thing about Hellride is it kind of also reminds me a little bit of the 4-star Ghost Rider's Red. He has a repeater tile that throws down, or yeah, I believe it's a repeater tile that throws down, I think attack tiles or strike tiles, something like that. So I think Hellride is like the 5-star version of that, just a little bit better. So I actually really like this, especially if it generates AP and does especially triple damage. So I mean, this could be like a really good, really strong power. Moving along, we have Chain Whip at 7. It's a red, looks like it's a transition power too. Ghost Rider hurls his chain at an enemy, binding them in place, stuns a target for 1 turn, creates a 6-turn red countdown tile, targeting the stunned enemy. While this tile is on the board, this power becomes Judgment Day, and whenever that enemy makes a match, they take 412 damage. Okay, so that's cool. And when we up it to 5 covers, there's an 8-turn red countdown tile. Still 1 turn stun, meh. And the damage is 914 every time they make a match. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I would think this thing would be awesome if it was like a fortified tile, but maybe that might be too good. Let's see what it turns into when it becomes Judgment Day. So Ghost Rider slams his enemy hard into the ground. Remove all of Ghost Rider's Chain Whip tiles to deal 2087 damage to the target enemy. This power becomes Chain Whip. Okay, so unfortunately, I was just going to say this could be really cool if you could target multiple enemies, but once you target one enemy, the power is going to become Judgment Day, so you're just going to do the damage and it's going to return to Chain Whip. So it's nice, you can pick on some enemy, and whenever they make a match, they'll take a lot of damage. I can see this as being like really nice in countering you know, a 5 or, you know, the really strong character in a battle. A lot of times you'll be facing, you know, 1-5, maybe 2-5s, something like that. If that's the case, you could just use Chain Whip on that character, and since they'll be making the majority of the matches in a match, they'll also be doing like a good amount of damage. So it's pretty nice. It's a nice little punishing power. I think the only thing that sucks is the countdown tile isn't fortified, so you could probably get rid of it pretty easily. But then the power is pretty cheap, it's red, it's a 7, so it shouldn't be really that difficult to get over and over and over again. So yeah, if you have someone who generates red, Judgment Day could be kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how much the actual Judgment Day portion of the power does in damage once you get this up. 31, 30, and 5 covers. I don't think I covered that. Doesn't look like it goes up like that much, maybe about a third more. Doesn't look like it's a huge hit, because at level 255, I think the bigger hits are start off kind of around like the 5,000 range. But this should be pretty decent. I think they're making it kind of low just because it's a pretty cheap power. So Chain Whip looks kind of cool. The last power he has is black. It's a 10. It's called Damnation. Ghost Rider punishes those with evil hearts, dragging them to the underworld to atone for their sins. Deals 2,442 damage. If the target has dealt the most damage on the enemy team, deal 3,362 damage instead. When we get that to 5 covers, deals 3,663 damage to the target, and if they've done the most damage on the team, deals 5,044. So just like what I was mentioning previously, I think for level 255 for 5-star, the real big hits start off somewhere around the 5,000 range. That's what I would expect this as. So I'm going to say this probably generates, I don't know, 20, 30,000, somewhere around there, when the enemy has done most of the damage. So I can see this power based a lot off of Penance Stare. It's pretty similar. Basically, whoever has done the most damage, or, you know, a lot of damage, it's going to deal, like, way more damage. It looks like it's a pretty good hit, even without the character being the guy who's, a guy or girl that's done the most damage in a fight. But, you know, obviously it's going to do a lot more to whoever did more damage in the fight. So again, I think this is a way to punish the really strong characters. You're probably going to see this taking out a lot of 5-stars, a lot of the, you know, top damagers in teams. And at 10, it's really not that bad. I mean, none of these powers are like super expensive. So we got a 10, we got a 7, and we got a 9. I think that's all pretty manageable. If you get this power pretty strong and up to a lot of covers as someone who generates black, you can do quite a bit of damage. So, obviously, I would put Ghost Rider in the bin of being an attacker, someone who does a lot of damage. I don't know what his HP is like, but he doesn't seem like a tank. I mean, he doesn't have any kind of support abilities or anything like that, or true heal or burst heal or anything like that to kind of keep him going. He seems to be a guy who's there to punish you, do a lot of damage. You know, basically anybody who does a good amount of damage against your team is going to be a good target for Robbie over here. So, I guess it really depends on what kind of support characters you build around him. Because, again, he's pretty vulnerable. He just doesn't have anything that will stop him from taking damage and heal him back up. So those would be kind of the things that I would be concerned about with the character. Just like his longevity. He might be a guy who does a lot of damage, but, you know, to keep him going in fights, you need to use a lot of health packs, which I'm against. So, yeah, he might be cool if someone like Old Man Logan, based on, you know, being able to cover some of those colors so that Ghost Rider can be on the board and not take the brunt of the damage. But I think he's kind of cool. I actually like Penance Stare better than Damnation over here, but, you know, they can't just make Penance Stare again, I guess, right? So, anyways, that's Robbie Reyes. 5-star Ghost Rider. I think he's kind of cool. I'm not sure he's going to be a 5-star that kind of upsets the balance. But who knows? I mean, Hellride's actually pretty good, and it depends. If he can generate enough AP that, you know, all these other powers are easy to pull off, he could be probably a pretty formidable character to go against. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I got any of that wrong. Found it entertaining and interesting. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.